So this is the iPad mini 7. I've had it for a few days now and there is a lot I want to say about it. First and foremost, let me just say this. In my opinion, the iPad mini 7 is a phenomenal device in terms of being a perfect match for the iPhone as well as the MacBook, because in my usage, it does so many things that my phone can't. Take notes or just be a little bigger and easier to read. But it also is powerful enough that if I'm on the go and I want to quickly use Final Cut Pro on this, I can. So I think the iPad mini in general is a phenomenal device. But yes, I know your concerns. There are other things to discuss. For example, how is it better compared to the iPad mini 6? Should you upgrade? And what if you're iPad mini 5 and below? But apart from that, my name is Danesh. This is the iPad mini 7 and let's jump right in. Alright, so first things first. Now with the iPad mini 7, we have a new design. Now I have the space gray version and it'll look a little lighter to you because my light is pointed is right there in that direction. But if I put it here, that's what it kind of actually looks like. I really like it because they've removed the antenna lines which were up here. On the overall looks much more sleek. We have the same camera setup over there. And this is the Apple Pencil Pro, which we will come back to in just a minute. We've got inside this the A17 Pro processor, which means that we will get Apple Intelligence. As far as the display is concerned, we've got the same display that we had last year. And overall, in terms of body and shape, it feels the same, but I still love this thing. I mean, if I compare this to my iPhone 16 Pro, this is my iPhone 16 Pro, and it provides such a great size, and obviously compared to that, it is just so much nicer. For example, some of the things that I do on it, obviously one of them is reading. Now, whether if you read horizontally or whether you read it vertically, it looks so nice. It looks so clean. I will say this bezel is just atrocious. The bezel is so thick and so huge. But listen, Apple leaves us no choice. So, well, that's dealing with Apple for you. But apart from that, we have iOS 18 out of the box, which I like. When it comes to the Apple Pencil, with this one, which is the iPad mini 7, you can only use the Apple Pencil Pro or the Apple Pencil Type-C. So what Apple sort of thinks here is that based on your usage, you can switch it up. So if you think you're going to primarily use it as a note-taking device and stuff, you don't really need the Pencil Pro. But if you're going to be doing things like, let's say, drawing, sketching, stuff like that, you'll need the Pencil Pro. I'm already enjoying using it. But that being said, considering I'm upgrading, not upgrading, but I've got this since my Mini 6, it's a bit of a move on Apple's part because I can't use my second generation Apple Pencil, so that just pisses me off. If you are looking for a small note-taking device, which is obviously Apple, which is powerful, which will have Apple Intelligence, the iPad mini 7 has my go-ahead 100%. Don't even think about it. I love this thing. Funny enough, if they released like something at 2 times the price and it was the iPad Pro Mini, I would buy that instantly, but that's a discussion for another day. If you'd like me to actually make a video about that, let me know in the comments. Before we move any further, this is a small little channel. I've been working really hard to grow it. Funny enough, by the time this video is uploaded, I will be a freelancer and I will have quit my day job. So anything you do to support the channel, like, comment, share, anything will help me out and I will genuinely appreciate it. Now, moving along, the biggest differences, or let's say the things start really changing when you discuss the iPad mini 7 with the iPad mini 6. Now, like I mentioned earlier, first and foremost, we lose the antenna lines, which is great. This has a much nicer, cleaner look. The cameras are pretty much the same. If you can see, they are not pretty much, they are the exact same. On the bottom, we have the same Type-C ports, same positioning of speakers. On top, we have the same fingerprint sensors, speakers on top here. On the sides, we have the antenna bands here and nothing on the sides. Now, when the screens are up front, it's the same device. It's the exact same device. There's no change in screen size, screen shape, usage, refresh rate, nothing. It is all absolutely the same. Now that brings me to the question, should you upgrade from the iPad mini 6 to the iPad mini 7? There are only 3 differences between these devices. The iPad mini 7 has better Wi-Fi, which is Wi-Fi 6E and Wi-Fi 6. Not exactly a huge difference to be selling by. This one has the A17 Pro, whereas this one has the A15 Bionic, which means this one will get Apple Intelligence. And like I mentioned earlier, there's the differences between the pencils. So upgrading this is very much an unnecessary upgrade because Apple Intelligence isn't showing any great signs right now. I'm not saying it's not going to be good, but the release is taking so long that there's really no point in upgrading a device on the basis of that. Because like I mentioned, the 8.3-inch displays are the same. We have the same 12 megapixel camera. We have the same 12 megapixel ultra wide right in front. We have the same USB. Everything is the same. So if you're on the iPad mini 6, I really don't suggest updating right now. Stick with it, save your money, all will be good. Now, one nice thing that Apple has done is that these are my old cases from the iPad mini 6. And yes, they fit the iPad mini 7, which I know is a very small thing. I'm glad I got to save some money here, so yay. Okay, last but not least, should you update this if you have an iPad mini 5 or lower? I say go for it 100%, don't even think about it. Because you get the shape change, you go from Lightning to USB, you get better cameras, you get better processors, you will get Apple Intelligence. It'll be such a huge upgrade from anything from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It will be such a huge upgrade that you will genuinely feel it. So in my personal opinion, if you have those devices, you can upgrade if you absolutely want to, because on the overall, I love the iPad mini. The iPad mini is the one device which I'm willing to accept all the problems with it, like, lower refresh rate, 60 hertz, no promotional, no good camera. But on the other hand, I can use Final Cut on this thing, and because Final Cut is optimized for your hands, it's so easy to use on this and quickly do social media edits and things like that. You have all that power right in this tiny little device. So to summarize, should you upgrade if you have the iPad mini 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? Absolutely, yes, you should. It is a phenomenal upgrade. You will enjoy it. Should you upgrade if you have the 6? No, in my opinion, absolutely not. Please don't upgrade. But what do I think of the iPad mini 7? I think it is a phenomenal tablet. I think it's handheld, it's pocketable, it's so easy to use. You can edit videos on it, you can create social media on it, you can take notes on it, you can just do so much. So I personally think that if you're looking for a small light tablet, this turns out to be the best one, because all the others are trying to sort of imitate your MacBook. The idea would be to choose between your iPad and your MacBook on a certain day. In my opinion, this one is a constant companion with your iPhone and your MacBook all day long. Like I mentioned earlier in the video, I am officially dedicating all my time to this channel. I'm going to be trying a lot. If you have any tips, any advice, if there's something you'd like to see, please do let me know. I'm constantly shelling out content daily on across the board on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, all across. It's all called Dan Talks. So anything you can do to support would be much appreciated. But until then, this was the iPad mini 7, and I will see you at the next one. Have a great day ahead.